What's good people? Welcome to Whole Views. Thank you for clicking that thumbnail. My name is Corey, and today we're going to be talking about Bad Boys 4 Ride or Die. Question for today's video is, how do you rank the Bad Boys films within the franchise? When I think about it, I know that I was way too generous to Bad Boys 3. When I look back on the movie review I did, I watched it. I was like, man, this is first of all, a horrible review, as well as just way too generous. There were issues with that movie I actually never revisited like I planned to do. And that's because it wasn't the best experience within the Bad Boys franchise. So when talking about ranking them, I think I would have to say Bad Boys 2 is the best in the franchise. Bad Boys 1 is a close right behind it, number 2. Bad Boys 4, the one that we just watched, Bad Boys Ride or Die, that would be the third best installment in the franchise. And then Bad Boys 3 would probably be the last one in my rankings. Looking back on 3, one of the things that stood out to me in my own review and looking at my own review years later, it's 4 years ago now, this was the third movie that I reviewed on my channel. So again, I wasn't really trying to be super critical and be as honest as possible. I tried to make a lot of caveats and say how it's not an Oscar-worthy type of film, and it's not this film critic's dream of this most cinematic movie ever, but it was good, and it was this, and it was that. And the truth is, that movie was just all right. This movie, Bad Boys 4, is way better to me. I think one of the things that makes it way better, and I saw a lot of people putting it as the best film in the franchise, which I disagree with, but a lot of people put it in that category and also speak very highly of this one because this one pays a lot of homage and a lot of nods to what we saw in Bad Boys 2. They mentioned the location of Cuba in this one. There were several visual references and flashbacks to things that happened in Bad Boys 2. And so for this one to come out and pay a lot of homage to Bad Boys 2, which in my opinion is the best in the franchise, it kind of helps solidify it as a close number 3 to the original Bad Boys. Like very close to being one of the top ones, but not the absolute best one. Again, hindsight looking back, I feel like Bad Boys 3 was a bit of a drop in quality because of the way they retroactively told a lot of backstory on Mike Lowry, Will Smith's character. Here, you don't have all that baggage to deal with, and they give you a much cleaner story. And really, it was a real indictment on Bad Boys 3 with Bad Boys 4 is that my wife, I talked about it in my original review. I'll probably revisit it with her. We never revisited it. She never even saw Bad Boys 3. We came in, watched Bad Boys 4. She had like one question as to where's this son come from? I was like, oh, that's the third one. You missed the third one. And that's it. That's it. There's nothing else that you need to see from Bad Boys 3 that will help you in Bad Boys 4. And that's a big statement. Like, it's really a forgettable film in this franchise. It's at the bottom of all the other things that we've gotten from this duo of Martin and Will Smith. Now, at the same time, you cannot say that about Bad Boys 1 or Bad Boys 2. You absolutely must have seen those two to get a lot of the things they do in Bad Boys 4. And it's not huge plot point things, but it's a lot of like inside joke type of things when, Martin talks about Mike Lowry being with his sister and he could have told me about that and I would have embraced you. And that was a cool little line in the beginning of the movie. And it's like, if you didn't see Bad Boys 2, you don't know how big of a deal that was in that film. And so you need Bad Boys 1 and 2 to have a good 4. You do not need Bad Boys 3 to have a good 4. And so it's just what it is. Just going a little more into detail about Bad Boys 4, I think that it was, again, a return to form. I think one of the best things about this movie is the cinematography. The camera work throughout this movie is sick. They get a lot of very good, unique shots. The POV stuff that they do in the final gunfight, we've all seen like the clips on social media of Will with the vest and Martin with the vest, and the camera turns and does all kind of things. It's a wild ride. And they do stuff like that in every little moment in the movie. Like each time there's a set piece that's going on, they give you some really, really unique angles and some really, really comedic moments, especially with Martin Lawrence. I enjoyed Bad Boys 4. I thought it was very good in the categories wise. It would be good. I said in my original review of Bad Boys 3 that it's like a 10 out of 10. That was nonsense. If I'm being honest, Bad Boys 3 was just all right in the category. So that's where we stand. Bad Boys 2, the best of the franchise. Bad Boys 1, very good. Bad Boys 4, Ride or Die, also very, very good. is going to be the third best installment. And then Bad Boys 3 is at the bottom and clearly not the best installment of the Bad Boys franchise. But luckily, they got past that. They got to this one. This one is really good. And I'm sure it's going to win the weekend and make a boatload of money. So let me know your thoughts on Bad Boys 4. Let me know your rankings of the Bad Boys films in the comment section if you choose to do so. And that's all we have for this one, y'all. Enjoy yourself, guard your heart, and go watch something good.